I want to talk to you today about empowerment and delegation. One of the greatest leadership hurdles in moving from a leader to a leader of leaders is the ability to effectively empower and delegate. When you don't delegate, you're missing an opportunity to help someone else become everything God created them to be. Delegation is not abdication. You still need to know what is going on. You also want to be there to support and encourage your team. Offer support to them without taking away responsibility. They may be doing things differently than you would, but the important thing is where you end up. Your job is to become a barrier breaker for those you serve. Here's some lessons learned. I had to break the Lone Ranger mentality. As leaders, we feel like we have to have all the answers. We have to solve the problems and charge into battle. It can also be a way to hide and protect ourselves from being vulnerable with others. I was a Lone Ranger without Tonto. I got things done without being too close to others. I didn't have any real close friends. I was a men's leader, but apparently still had a level of pride. Now, I attended a men's encounter fully expecting to experience God. I didn't count on a serious headache to hinder my involvement. Now, during some alone time, God impressed on me, how many men are here? I responded, around 80. Did you ask any of them to pray for you? Convicted by the Holy Spirit, something broke at that moment. I started to embrace other men and have some of the most amazing godly relationships today. Men I would trust my wife and kids with. I also started being a better leader. Instead of leading on my own, I empowered other men to lead. That freed me up to do more. One of the best delegation stories in the Bible is the story of Jethro and Moses. Moses' father-in-law said to him, "What you're doing is not good. Surely you and these people will wear yourselves out because the task is too heavy for you. You can't handle it alone." Moses was spending his entire day judging right and wrong for the people. His father-in-law observed and told him he needed to delegate. Moses chose faithful men to judge and only bring him the hardest cases. When you delegate, you're able to accomplish more. When you delegate, you don't wear yourself out. Here's a few leadership testimonies. Bruce Gibbons was a great leader. Bruce is a faithful man. He has sustained maximized manhood for well over a decade at Lakewood Church. This class is hugely successful and has hundreds of graduates every year. I told Bruce that if he wanted to go to another level, he needed to let go and raise up other leaders to take his place. He responded well, and today he oversees multiple discipleship programs, and Maximized Manhood is still going strong. I also have a very good friend, Melanie Stiles. This takes me back a ways, but Melanie and I have a long-standing friendship. I saw things in Melanie that she didn't see in herself. Melanie was a strong leader, but she lacked self-confidence. I told her I wanted her to speak in front of some leaders. She called me the day of the event, and with a weak voice, she told me she lost her voice. I told her she had to speak that night, and if she couldn't speak at that very moment, I would be prepared to get up there and save her. Now, she got up there and miraculously her voice returned. Melanie started speaking on many occasions after that and is a strong ministry leader today. Another good friend of mine, Robert Ortiz, approached me and shared how he felt stifled in leading. It was a clear example of law of the lid. His leader was limited by a need to control, and he had much more to offer. I took him out from under that leader and allowed him to thrive as a ministry leader. For years, Robert faithfully assisted me in overseeing multiple ministries, and I watched him go to a whole nother level. Brandon Funk was one of our interns at Lakewood Church. He showed himself to be a quick learner and high-capacity leader. A limited leader would feel threatened by his talents. I had helped launch and was overseeing both Lakewood's business ministry and the Job Connection. When Brandon came on staff at Lakewood, I released these ministries to him, and he was able to take them to a whole new level. If I had held tightly to them, they would have been good, but not great. Instead, Brandon now oversees multiple ministries around stewardship. When we're confident in our leadership, we can have influence beyond our own abilities. So why don't we delegate? It's usually fear-based. It's about your or someone else's need to control. They won't do it the way I would. Here's the key. Give parameters and be okay if it's different as long as the results are the same. What's the end goal? What if they mess up? I'll be the one they blame, not him or her. It will be a reflection on me. If you are supporting them, they won't fail. But even if they do, that's how they will learn. Take the blame for them. That builds trust. That's my job. What if they do it better? Why would the organization need me? They might replace me. The truth is, as you teach others and you grow in your leadership, you will be able to effectively lead others. As they rise, you will rise too. Don't let your fear hold others back. Here's some more leadership tips for delegation. I call it intentional delegation. Identify what someone needs to grow in order to go to the next level. Look for a couple of things. Are they faithful and teachable? Those are things you can't really train for. Find a role, project, or task to provide stretch opportunities for people to grow. Provide support, but don't take away responsibility. Let them figure it out. Help them succeed and remove any barriers if necessary. Failure isn't failure if it teaches you something. We don't seek to fail, but failure can be the best teacher. Use feedback as a learning tool. Be okay with losing control. Get over yourself. You have to give up to go up. It's not about you. Build a legacy that will outlive you. If you teach people how to lead for themselves, your legacy will live on. If you have to be there all the time for things to succeed, you're probably more of a directive leader. The more you build others up, the more you can get done. Moses was busy but not effective. You only have so much time. As you build others up, your capacity increases and you can get more done. Here's the leadership challenge. What's one thing you can give to someone else to get done? See how they do. They might just surprise you. Now, if you do this, I believe and declare you're going to go to a new level and you're going to see others rise as you rise.